All right, we're just about ready to get started here. We were a little bit late. Game before ran late, um, and but now we're off. We had trouble to scrape too. Wow. Kansas City wins that opening face-off. Comes in and takes a shot, goes off the crossbar and hits the net. Stops the play. Nora blocks that shot and clears the puck down into the Kansas City zone. Now Collins picks it up. She pushes it deep. Nord down deep in the corner. Kansas City picks it up, tries to skate it out. Collins stops, pushes the puck back. Kansas City pushes forward, passes up. Collins now picks it up. She skates it up out of the zone. Passes forward to Riot. Riot picks it up, skates forward into the Storm zone. Wide shot. Fires right in front of the net. That comes up. Ruby keeps it in. Riot backhands it forward to Collins. Collins looking for a centering pass. She centers towards Nora, and Nora misses on that one-timer. Kansas City now picks it up. Taken off her stick by Nora. Riot picks it in. She's skating forward. She backhands it towards the net. Goes behind the goalie. Now Kansas City shoots it up the near boards. Evie's pressuring. Kansas City passes forward, enters the Lady Wild zone. Ruby gets chased, takes the puck off the stick, sends it around to the other side. Lady Wild changing. Bree comes in off the bench. Now Nora picks it up, sends it in neutral zone. Kansas City pushes it back in for offsides. I'm not sure. Okay. Caroline, Bree, Penny out there. Cora and Lennon back on defense. Kansas City pushes it forward. Lennon comes over, shoots it up towards Kansas City zone. Bree pushes it into the zone, goes deep. She goes back. She's going to try to wrap around. She loses the puck. Kansas City picks it up on the far board, sends it up to the point. Forward takes a shot. It gets deflected, comes to the near corner. Kansas City backhands it up. Penny and Lennon were there. Lennon sends it in. Kansas City picks it back up. Send it out of the zone. Cora picks it up. Cora sends it over to the near boards. Caroline tries to pick up the puck. Kansas City pushes it in, and they're offsides. All right. Billy Van Meer comes in at center on loan for the Ames Flyers orange team. We've got Beckett and Finley out with her. Kiera and Margot back on D. Kansas City wins that face-off, brings it into the Lady Wild zone. Margot clears it back out. Finley now skating forward, skates it into the Kansas City zone. He's looking for help. Lily was there. Loses the puck. Lily chases it down the near board. She tries to center. Kansas City chips it back out towards the near boards. Now they're skating out of the zone in the neutral zone across center ice. Brings it into the Lady Wild zone. Lily comes up from behind, disrupts that. Shot goes towards the net. Cover. Same lines out here for both teams. Kansas City wins that back to their D. They send it forward. Kira back here battling for it. Comes up to the near boards. Lily comes up, takes the puck away. She's skating forward in the neutral zone. Comes into Kansas City. Kansas City takes it off her stick. Now they pick it up in the neutral zone, bring it into the Lady Wild zone. Kira's there, does a stick lift, and Margot goes, tries to steal the puck away. Kansas City retains it into the Lady Wild zone. Pick it up here at the near boards. Tries to send it towards the net. It goes wide. Kira tries to push it up. Now Collins out here with Nora trying to push the puck into the Kansas City zone. They send it back towards the Lady Wild zone. Beckett picks it up. She skates it around. Kansas City steals the puck off her sticks. They send it to the center. Kira pushes the puck up towards the slot. Now Collins picks it up. She's skating, trying to pick up speed, coming in across center ice. She's sending it into the Kansas City zone. Tries to skate around the defender. Good defense there. Takes it off her stick. Brings it back out to the neutral zone. Evie picks up that puck, passes it back to Margot. She's not able to control. They get a shot off, stopping a cover by the goalie. Mercy back here in net again for this game. Collins, Riot. Nora out on offense. Evie and Ruby back on D. Nora pushes the puck, goes into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City collects, takes it behind the net. They try to take it off the boards, comes up to the point, gets past Evie. Evie slows it back down, pushes it back. Nora's there as it goes back into the Kansas City zone. She's skating forward. She shoots that towards the net. It goes wide. Collins there picking up the puck at the corner. Kansas City shoots it out back out to the point. Ruby sends that deep. Riot collects, goes just in front of the net. Now Collins picks it up, skates around. She's going to come in, tries backhand it towards the net. It goes off the post. Now she tries to center. Riot's there, sends it in. Glove save and cover by the goalie. Good pressure there by the Lady Wild. Going to have wholesale line changes coming. Cora and Lennon on defense. Caroline, Riley, and Penny. That face-off comes back to Lennon. Lennon sends it in. It goes wide. Penny collects at the corner. She tries to center. She hits a Kansas City stick, but now Penny tries to come back with the puck. It goes back out to the far boards. Caroline there. That gets caught up in that Storm player's glove. Kansas City collects behind the net. Skates it around. Tries to pass it over to the left wing. Goes off the board. Cora collects. Sends it back in deep. Caroline passes that back to Lennon. Lennon takes a shot. It's blocked. Now Caroline picks up the loose puck, sends it towards the net. Save and cover by the goalie. Breeze coming in off the bench to join the forward group. Riley coming off. Still no score here. 5.5 minutes left in the first period. Caroline wins that over to Bree. Bree not able to get a shot. It comes back to Cora. She tries to collect. Kansas City blocks that pass. Comes back to Cora. She blocks it at the line. Blocked there at the slot. Penny takes a shot. It goes wide. Kansas City shoots that up past Cora. That's going to go out for icing. Line change is coming for the Lady Wild. Lily, Margot, Beckett, and Kira. Margot and Kira back on D. Lily, Finley, Beckett playing forward in the shift. Kansas City gets that into the neutral zone. Now they're skating it into the defensive zone. Kira wraps her stick around, pokes that puck back into the Kansas City zone. Finley picks it up there on the far board, skates it forward back past the goal line. Kansas City shoots that down into the Lady Wild zone for another icing. .429 left in the first period. Lily's going to take the face off. Same lines out here. Lily tries to center it. Beckett wasn't there. Kansas City picks it up. Has speed coming into the zone. Lily tries to take it off her stick. Blocked by the goalie, Mercy. Mercy sends it out. Now Beckett connects. Not able to get it clear. Oh, just dribbles in and off the stick goes just past Mercy for the first goal of the game. Kind of some unlucky bounces there and just gets right past the stick of our goalie, Mercy. Collins going to take the face off with Raya and Nora. Collins pushes it into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City pokes that off to the near boards. They pick it up behind the net. Skates it forward. Passes forward. Evie and Ruby are racing back. Centers. Ruby sends it out of the zone. It's going to come deep down in the Kansas City zone. This is going to be icing. Ruby and Evie still back on D with Collins, Nora, and Riot on offense. Collins collects. She picks it up. She brings it in neutral zone. Kansas City pressures there and takes the puck away. Brings it in the zone. Now they got to reset. Sends a shot in from the center line. Ruby picks up the puck. She's skating with it across behind the net. She gets it taken away, but pokes it forward to Nora. Nora tries to chip it off the boards. Doesn't quite have enough to clear the blue line. Ruby skating over to pressure the corner. They try to center the puck. Riot picks it up now. Kansas City pokes it back deep. Nora with some nifty work there to backhand it back out of the zone. Kansas City re-enters the zone, sends it deep. Ruby collects in the corner. Oh, she whiffs on that pass, but now she passes forward. Collins collects at the far boards. She passes over to Nora, intercepted by Kansas City. Kansas City sends it back into the zone. Evie collects, passes forward to Collins. Collins skating forward with it. Now Nora has it as she skates into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City pokes it off her stick. She's going to try to, Kansas City tries to exit the zone, gets it across. It's going to go down. I think that's going to be another icing. Line changes for both teams. Caroline, Bree, Penny playing forward here. Lennon and Cora back on defense. That face-off comes back to Cora. She tries to go D to D, but doesn't connect with Lennon. Kansas City gets it out of the zone, pushes forward, pushes it into the Kansas City zone. Bree is able to get it back out. Caroline and Penny battling to try to push the puck into the Kansas City zone. It goes just barely in the Kansas City zone as they collect it and bring it back into the neutral zone and into the Lady Wild zone. Cora and Lennon back there. Lennon skating up to near boards. Passes forward to Caroline. Misses Caroline, but gets into the Kansas City zone. That comes back out to the neutral zone. Cora misses landing on that pass. Kansas City picks it up. Bree tries the pressure, but Kansas City's able to get that shot, which goes right over Mercy's head. Two nothing Kansas City with 1:15 left in the first period. Line changes. Lily Riley Beckett on offense. Got Kiera and Margot on defense. Face-off comes back in Lady Wild zone, but Margot's able to clear. Beckett pushes the puck into the Kansas City zone. A little bit of extracurriculars coming out right now. Beckett tries to pick that puck off the Kansas City player, but she's able to recollect, skate it into the zone. Shoots that shot, goes right in front of the goalie. Margot not quite able to push it out, but now she's able to get it in the neutral zone. She brings it now, skates into the Kansas City zone. They poke it off her stick, sends it back. Kira collects. Now Kansas City picks the puck up, skates forward, shoots it wide. Kira clears it out of the zone. Now Kansas City sends it back in deep. Kira's back there to collect. And that'll end the first period. Score of 2-0 Kansas City. Let's see if the Lady Wild can come out with as much fire as they had to begin the first period. They're the same starting lines. We need one more here. Here she comes. Got Collins, Riot, Nora, and then Ruby and Evie back on defense. Collins pushes that puck forward. Kansas City collects, pushes out of the zone. Now comes across into the neutral zone, across center ice, into the Lady Wild zone. That puck's going to go back. It just slides right back by our goalie. She was trying to watch it in and just barely squirts by her. That face-off comes back. Kansas City charges forward, gets that shot past Mercy. It's 4-0 Kansas City. 30 seconds into the second period. Now Collins collects. She pushes into the Kansas City zone. She comes around, tries to shoot, goes off the stick. But Riot's there to backhand the goal and gets the Lady Wild on the board. 4-1. It's a great face-off win there by Collins, and great pressure to bring the puck in, and uh, really opportunistic for Riot to be there to pick it up and chip that goal in. Collins once again tries to push forward. It's stopped by a Kansas City skate. Now Collins brings it into the zone. She shoots it in deep. Kansas City throws it up. Not able to clear the zone, but now they pick it up, bring it across their blue line, bring it into the Lady Wild zone. Lennon pushes that wide into the corner. Kansas City pushes it back in. That goes back behind the goal. Cora pushes it up the near boards. Kansas City collects. Looks on that shot. Now Collins collects. Brings it in with speed. She's got Nora in the center. She centers in, and Riot just misses on that one-timer. Kansas City shoots it down into the Lady Wild zone. That's going to go for icing. Line changes coming. Caroline, Bree, Penny, Margot, and Kara on defense. Des Moines ships that back to Margot. Margot tries to shoot it in. It gets stopped in the slot there by Kansas City. Lady Wild shoot back in deep. Now it comes up to the near boards. Penny's battling for it. Bree tries to take it in. Met by Kansas City. Kansas City stops it again. Margot tries center. Penny backhands it towards the net. Goes off the post. Margot got caught up just a little bit there, trying to put some pressure on. Kansas City pushes the puck into the Lady Wild zone. Lady Wild hustles back. Caroline brings it forward, and Kansas City now chips it into the zone, but they're offsides. Forward line change coming. Lily, Finley, and Beckett. Beckett battling for that puck at the blue line. It gets into the Lady Wild zone. Margot sends it forward, intercepted by Kansas City. That goes off Beckett's skate, goes deep. Kansas City sends that shot in. Mercy tries to swat it away, but another Kansas City player there to pick up the trash and get in for the 5th goal of the game. Ruby and Evie back on defense, same forward line. Ruby picks up that puck. She sends it in deep, and that's going to be icing. Lily's going to take this face off. She backhands it up. It's collected by the defense, Kansas City defense. Shoots it in. Stick saved by Mercy. Ruby clears it. Kansas City brings it back in. Lady Wild trying to clear it. Goalie covers. Same forward line, defensive line change. Cora and Lennon back on D. Kansas City wins that over the right wing. Now really tries to collect and bring it out, but she stopped at the blue line, and Kansas City sends it back in deep. Cora collects. She backhands it forward, intercepted by Kansas City. Comes back to the blue line. Kansas City holds the line, but Lily's persistent, and she's able to bring the puck in the neutral zone. Now Lennon collects, sends it in. They wave off icing. Kansas City able to get that by Finley there, but Cora holds the line. She sends it back in deep. Kansas City sends it back up to the near boards. Lily sends that towards the net. Save and cover by the goalie. Line changes coming for the Lady Wild. Both teams changing. Collins, Nora, Riley out on offense with Margot and Kara back on D. Collins tries to collect that. Kansas City sends it back to the D. Margot chips it back forward. Collins battling. Now Margot sends it back over to the corner. Kansas City collects. Skating up. She's going to pick up speed. Collins slows that down a little bit, but Kansas City continues to press. Sends it in deep. That puck goes off the backboards and right in front of the net. Lady Wild are able to clear it. Now Collins picks it up with speed. That's taken off her stick, but now she pushes it deep into the zone. Kansas City collects, brings up the near boards. That goes off Nora's stick. Margot sends it in. Cleared by Kansas City. Kansas City now collects over the near boards, sends it up to the blue line. Kira's not able to keep it in. Now Margot coming down to try to prevent this shot. Goes off the side. Collins collects. Kansas City backhands that towards the goal. That goes off Mercy's face mask. Lady Wild clear it, get it out into the neutral zone. Goes deep, goes down into the Kansas City zone. They take it in deep. Nora trying to keep pressure here. Margot not able to keep that in. Lady Wild to clear the zone. Now Margot sends it back in. Kansas City sends out the far boards. Ruby's there to keep it in. Now Kansas City brings it back behind the net. They send it up. Collins intercepts. Collins centers. There's two Kansas City players there. Goalie pushes a little bit wider. All right, Evie backhands it back in, but Kansas City's able to clear it. Ruby chases it down at the far side. Now she picks up the puck. She skates it behind the net. She's going to try to pass it forward to Collins. Collins clears the zone. Now she's picking up speed. She's got some just one-on-one here. Gets tripped. No call. Must have got the puck first there, so Kansas City comes out and covers. Lennon goes D to D over to Cora. Cora sends it in, covered by the goalie. You got Caroline, Bree, and Penny with Cora and Lennon playing defense. This puck comes backwards off the face-off. Comes in the neutral zone. Lennon collects. She tries to center. Now Bree picks it up. Comes across the center ice. Not able to corral, but now it gets into the Kansas City zone. Now they clear. Lennon collects. They hold up. Now they're going to try to re-enter. Kansas City collects the puck. They send it up, able to clear the zone. Margot hustles back, picks it up. She sends it out of the Lady Wild zone, gets across center ice, gets into the Kansas City zone. Caroline's there to pick it up. She sends that in towards the net. It goes wide. Penny tries to center, gets it up to Caroline. She backhands it. It goes wide. Kansas City chips it out of the zone. Comes over to Cora. Cora goes over to Lennon. Now Penny clears, and Lennon enters the zone. She gets met by some resistance, continues to push forward. She hits it in deep. Kansas City picks it up, near boards. It comes out. Cora couldn't collect. Lennon back there, back by herself, and Kansas City loses a hand on the puck. Still able to get it in off of Mercy's face mask, and she covers. Line changes coming. Lily, Finley, Beckett with Margot and Kira. A face-off goes towards the net. Finley's trying to clear it out. Kansas City sends it back to the D. D's not able to collect it, and it comes in neutral zone. Margot comes up and tries to push the puck forward. Now it gets into the Kansas City zone, but they clear it right back out into the neutral zone. Beckett, Finley, Margot all trying to push that forward. Now Kansas City collects, and they skate it into the Lady Wild zone. Send it in deep. Kira collects back. She loses her stick. Kansas City centers, but now Margot picks it up, brings it into the neutral zone. She passes over to Lily. Lily's picking up speed. She's going to come down, try to get a shot. She takes a shot at the right wing circle. Stick saved by the goalie. Lily trying to get a second chance shot. It's cleared by Kansas City. Beckett picks up the corner, tries to get out to Lily, but it's intercepted. D caught being a little bit too deep, and they're not able to keep their puck in the zone. It comes in a Lady Wild zone. Kara tries to center over. She hits a Kansas City player. Margot's able to push it out. Now Kara's picking it up, skates it into the neutral zone. Cross center ice, taking off her stick. Now Margot tries to backhand it forward. Now she sends it into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City collects it in the slot. Finley pushes forward, tries to shoot it, goes off the Kansas City stick, goes picked up by the Kansas City, and they're going to skate forward. Lily tries to steal it, but it comes into the neutral zone. Margot tries to hold it off, but pushes in, and we have offsides. 1:41 left in the second period. Storm up 5-1. Collins, Nora, Riot with Ruby and Evie on defense. Collins pushes that up into the Kansas City zone. Collins not quite able to keep it in. She's battling here with Nora. Nora pushes it back in. Kansas City clears it right back out. Ruby stops it. Collins picks it up. She's skating forward. Skates around Kansas City into the Kansas City zone. So 1-on-3. She skates around another player. She's backhands it towards the net. It goes behind the net. Riot centers. Collins trying to get a shot, not able to. It comes up to the blue line. Evie holds it, backhands it in, but now Kansas City picks it up. We've got a 3-on-1. Ruby tries to stop the puck, and Kansas City passes over, misses the pass, sends that in. Ruby clears, comes back to the blue line. That's another block there by Ruby. Kansas City centers, nobody there. They collect at the far boards. Riot disrupts that shot. Now Collins picks it up. She's skating into the neutral zone. She's got two defenders to get around, but Kansas City's able to get it off her stick and collects. Kansas City picking up speed. Ruby gets peeked around. That shot goes off of Mercy's glove. Ruby tries to chip, or Riot tries to chip it forward. Now Nora pushes it in the neutral zone. Kansas City collects. They're going to ski it deep into their own zone. They're just going to tick off the last 5 seconds here. All right. A little bit better of a second period here. It's 5-1 Storm. We've got some friendly scorekeeping back here. They've got the shots with the Storm with the advantage of 15-7. Feels more lopsided than that, but I think we got a couple friendly faces back there on the scoreboard with Chase and Andrew. Caroline's going to take this face off. Bree and Riley out with her. Lennon and Cora on defense. Kansas City hooks that into Lady Wild zone. Stopped by Cora State. Caroline and Bree battling here for the puck. Lennon tries to clear it, gets over to Riley. Riley's going to try to push forward. She loses her edge. Now Kansas City pushes that deep into the zone. Lennon collects. She reverses. She's going to try to push it up the far boards. Centering pass there. We send a shot towards the goal, and Riot pushes it back into the slot, but she's able to cover that second chance shot. Margot and Kara on defense. Lily, Beckett, and Finley. Lily takes the face off. It goes over. That shot's blocked. Now they send another shot in. It goes off the post. Beckett sends that forward. Kansas City stops it at first. Now Margot picks it up, brings it across center ice. She's not able to push it any further forward, but now she's going to get caught off sides. Lily takes the face off here. Kansas City wins it forward. Margot tries to push it back in. She throws that towards the net. It just goes wide. Now Lily tries to chip it up on the near boards. It comes out, gets out of the zone. Kansas City pushes it back in a little too early, and that's offsides. Same forward line. We got a D change with Ruby and Evie coming out. Face-off comes back to Kansas City's D. They collect and send it in deep. Now Ruby sends it along the back of the boards, tries to throw it around, doesn't have enough on it. Finley tries to push it up. Now Lily Finley and Beckett battling, trying to get it back across the blue line. Now it comes out. Kansas City recollects. Now they push it back in. Now Evie picks it up. Doesn't get enough on it to clear. Pad saved there by the goalie. Lily pushes it in the neutral zone. She's picking up speed but loses her edge. It goes back to the goalie. She's going to stop it and cover. Collins, Riot, and Penny out there on offense. Evie and Ruby still back on D. Evie's not able to hold the line as Kansas City pushes it forward into the Lady Wild zone. Collins is able to clear it, but Kansas City pushes it back in a little too early, and they're caught off sides. D change now with Lennon and Cora. Cora collects the puck behind the net. She's going to skate with it. She sends it forward to Collins. Collins is going to try to push it in, but she's just not able to get past that Kansas City player. Now Kansas City brings it out with speed across the center ice. She gets by Lennon and Cora. Mercy comes out, tries to push it wide. Kansas City's going to continue to try to pressure. Goalie's down, but Collins tried her hardest to keep that out of the net, but they're able to sneak that by her. 6-1 Kansas City, 8:44 left in the game. Nora's going to take face off. She's got Bree and Caroline with her. Now Cora pushes it into the zone. Caroline backhands it to Nora. Nora tries to get a shot, but it's blocked. Now Kansas City brings it across center ice, enters the Lady Wild zone. Tries a center. There's 3 Lady Wild there to stop that. Caroline pushes it up to Nora. Nora tries to push it out, but she loses her edge. Kansas City collects. Chips it up to left wing. Left wing picks it up, brings it forward, but loses it. Margo pushes it back in the neutral zone. Kansas City turns and shoots it back deep into their own zone. They collect, brings it up to near side. Kira tries to center it over there, but Lady Wild aren't able to control it. Kansas City pushes it back forward. Kira's back there again. Gets into the Lady Wild zone. Margo clears it right away. Margo pushes it up to Caroline. Caroline pushes over to Nora. Nora not able to control it. Kansas City collects here at the near boards. They push it into the Lady Wild zone. There's Kira to pick it up. She sends it over. Kansas City almost intercepts that pass. Now Caroline picks it up, skates across center and into the Kansas City zone. She gets that taken off her stick, pushed back into the Lady Wild zone. Kira picks up the puck. She sends it over to Margo. Margo backhands it into the neutral zone. Kansas City chips it forward and caught off sides. Lily takes that face off. Kansas City pushes into the zone. It comes back out. Now they wait and into the zone too quick, caught off sides. Lily, Riley, and Finley out there. Evie and Ruby back on D. Kansas City wins it forward. She pulls it back, goes back to the D to D pass here. Lily tries to clear. It goes off a shin pad of the Kansas City player. Evie sends it up. But now Lily comes up and collects. She's going to skate forward and try to get a shot off. She gets it in right over the goalie's left shoulder. Gets a second goal of the game for the Lady Wild. Very nice play there for Lily as she pressures up at the blue line, able to get control and push forward and get a goal. Lily, Riley, and Finley are going to stay out there. Lily pushes it forward. Lady Wild aren't able to control it as Kansas City pushes forward. Lily tries to pass it over to Finley. Finley collects at the far boards. Kansas City throws it in. Now Lennon picks it up at the behind the net. Not quite able to corral it, and they're going to reverse and go the other way. She's battling hard against two Kansas City players who get it centered. Nobody there. It comes back to the D. Riley picks it up. She's going to skate it out of the zone. Great job by Riley to clear the zone. She's coming up fast and pushing into the Kansas City zone. She keeps pushing. Great play here by Riley. Kansas City brings it back in the neutral zone. Lennon collects. She tries to push it forward. Riley's trying to corral it here and push it in the zone, but Kansas City comes away with it, and they push it into the Lady Wild zone. Lady Wild are able to clear that. It's going to come down, though. I think, not quite enough for icing, so Kansas City picks it up. Skate it across into the slot. Riley just misses that. She could have had a shot there. Collins now steals that away as Kansas City in the zone. She gets tripped up. Now Collins is going to push forward. She's got one to beat. She gets her beat. Now she's going to get a shot. Kansas City comes up from behind, gets a stick on that. It goes wide. Kansas City clears the zone, but we're going to have icing. .420 left in the game. 6-2 Storm. Collins, Riot, Beckett on offense. Margot and Kara back on D. Kansas City collects. They bring it up the near boards. Beckett holds it in, but now Kansas City picks it back up. Gets it in the neutral zone. Margot tries to send it back across the center line. Kansas City keeps battling, pushing it back. Now Kansas City's able to enter the zone. Tries to shoot it. It gets blocked over there by Collins. Now Beckett comes up to block that shot. Margot there in the center trying to clear the puck out. Gets pushed to the far boards. Riot loses her edge over there. Beckett backhands it up. Collins tried to collect that puck and push it in, but it's stopped there by Kansas City. Kansas City centers, nobody's there. That puck gets pushed to the goalie, and Mercy covers. Line changes coming. Nora, Caroline, Bree with Evie and Ruby on defense. Evie tries to push that forward. Then Kansas City sends it back in deep. Lady Wild are able to clear the zone. Kansas City D collects, passes over to the other D. Right wing comes up, sends it in deep. Ruby's back there. She starts crowding it, skating forward, collects. Bree now pushes the puck into the neutral zone. Nor not able to collect it. It gets back pushed in Lady Wild zone. Oh, Ruby loses her edge as she goes back to collect that puck. Hooks it forward to Evie. Kansas City sends it to the other corner. Ruby skates up. She's battling hard in the corner there. She does a good job freezing that Kansas City player against the boards. Bree picks up the puck. Skates in the neutral zone. Now Caroline has it. She's going to skate forward in the Kansas City zone. She tries to center to Bree. Can't quite connect. Kansas City reverses. Sends it way over to the other side. Ruby hustles over. Tries to get it. She's not able to hold the line. She comes back around. Sends it back into the zone. Stopped by Kansas City. Caroline's just able to get back on side before that puck comes in. Ruby battling hard to stop that progress. Now Kansas City sends it back in. Not sure what the whistle was. We're going to have a neutral zone face-off over here. Penny Riley Finley with Lennon and Cora back on D. We get caught out of position there. We got a defenseman up at the left wing circle. Only one defender back to try to help Mercy back there, and Kansas City able to push that puck into the net. Collins tries to push that forward, but Kansas City's able to now push it into the Lady Wild zone. Lennon passes forward to Collins. Collins not quite able to get it out of the zone. Cora collects. Oh, she's not able to control it. Now Kansas City picks the puck back up. Kansas City centers, and now Collins picks up the loose puck, skates it in the neutral zone. She tries to change direction here. Now Kansas City pushes the puck back in the neutral zone and into the Lady Wild zone. Lennon does a great job of getting turned around to push that puck wide. Mercy sends it back behind the net, but Kansas City collects here. Lily's collected, now pushing forward with Collins, but Kansas City's able to push it back over. They called icing off here, 18 seconds left. Cora collects, pushes it up. Intercepted by Kansas City. Now Beckett spins and passes forward to Collins to see if Collins can come down and get a last second goal here. She takes a shot, and Kansas City with a nice sliding stop there to prevent that goal with 1 second left. We will have time for one last puck drop. Collins tries to send that forward off the face-off, and it's blocked. Kansas City wins this one. Oh, it is 7-2. I didn't have that last goal there, but 7-2, Kansas City. Good effort by the Lady Wild to keep learning and getting better. I think we'll be playing at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Not sure of the opponent yet, but we'll be back here at 10 a.m.